So, last names. How do you feel about them? Is that still a big deal when it comes to people getting married? Like, for like, do dudes want their wives to take their last name, or are they cool either way? Or like, is it still like, no, I need you to take my last name, or are dudes more relaxed now? Does it matter? Do you think?
It depends on the person, the individual.
Okay,
Um,
that's for you
yes,
in your house.
yeah. As for me in my house,
We serve the Lord.
we gonna serve that man upstairs. You better tell him. I say it for the ones in the back, but um, as far as the last name piece,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Thankfully, my wife took my last name. As far as would it be a big deal?
Mm-hmm.
We live in a different society now.
Yeah.
Is it a deal breaker? That's a conversation you have to have after you even consider marrying them
Mm-hmm.
or proposing. I look at it from different angles. I've seen my wife go through having to change
Mm-hmm.
paperwork,
Yeah.
bank accounts, information. Um, I think of the example of Men in Black when you erase your fingerprints and you become a brand new person.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally kind of what's happening. And don't be fooled. It's not free.
I've learned that.
I
It
didn't know
comes
that.
at a cost. Um,
You gotta pay every time you change your name,
Yep, sure do,
even
Randy.
if you just did it for fun.
But so you got that aspect of it. You
Mhm.
got the legacy aspect of it. As far as okay, we are a new unit.
Mm.
So this is our segment of the family tree, or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be in that sense. But you got to think about it as the lady or the wife in the scenario. Hey, sometimes we live in a society now. Sometimes the man take his wife's last name.
Yeah.
To each its own. But you are literally leaving that person behind
Yeah.
and becoming a new person
Mhm.
with this new name, and it is what it is. Now, me, like I said, it wouldn't be a big deal if she wouldn't.
Mhm.
That's when the conversation piece comes in. I feel like some people, when they get worked up about it, they start. It can come off as possessive.
Mhm.
No, you got my last name. Well, no, it's actually our last name at this point.
Nah.
Um, from my perspective, um, with my daughters,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm petty sometimes and I'm selfish. You can hyphenate. You can keep both. Like, but I mean, again, to each his own.
Yeah.
You gotta make that decision on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't. Again, it's. I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker if you've had the conversation, and if you've had the discussions of, okay, why do you feel like this? If it's strictly a personal thing that you only see the benefit for yourself,
Mhm.
that's some self-reflection that needs to go on.
Yeah.
Um, but also it's okay to ask your spouse how they feel about it, because they're in my situation. My wife was the one changing her name,
Yeah.
so how do you feel about it? And have that open dialogue and that conversation to what needs to happen or what can happen, options that are on the table. Do you need to wait a couple of years, a couple of months, whatever the case
Mhm.
may be, before things are set in motion? Because I know some people who have gotten married and they just waited to change their last name.
Oh, okay.
On paper, they're
Yeah.
married, but they just haven't changed their last name. Now, that's a different conversation as far as how you navigate life moving forward from there. But again, it comes down to the conversation being had, in my opinion.
Cool.
What's y'all's thoughts? I know this is ask me, but ask y'all.
I want my name hyphenated, and I hope my husband will be fine with that. I do want his name, but I do want my last name to be hyphenated. That's just me. Now, if he has a big issue with my name being hyphenated, then I will change it. I'll take my last name out. I'll take my name off. But going
you gonna
in,
be
I
salty?
absolutely want. No, I won't be salty because I mean, I only want my last name hyphenated because of family tree reasons. I be wanting to know who was who in the tree, and I like my last name. But you know, I mean, it's whatever we decide. But right now, me being by myself, I would like it hyphenated.
You won't disappear from the tree, though.
I know.
Like if you've been in that spot this whole
She's gonna
time.
break the branch off.
I know. It's just
Actually, they just put him beside you in the picture, and then y'all's children go under y'all.
True.
And yeah,
I guess that's me. No, like me, because I do our family tree and just going through people and their names and not knowing like who. Oh well, whose parents are, whose kids are you? Like who? Like I never know.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a personal thing. That's like just being in order and organized as far as a family tree. But like I said, I do want my last name hyphenated. But if he's like, I just want my last name, that's fine. I'm not gonna fight it. Change my last name. I don't. It's not a big deal.
I hadn't thought about needing to hyphenate. I'm fine with taking his last name. I just, it is what it is. I do understand the whole, especially if your dad doesn't have sons, if you kind of feel like the legacy or whatever is stopping.
Mm-hmm. It would be.
That would be a reason to keep it. Or if you feel like, there's a pause somewhere. So I get some reasons. If my name is attached to a brand in a way, like the name is this is Dominique Mills does the such and such. So Kiki Sheard.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Some people will still just call her Kiki Sheard, but she went because she was already Kiara Sheard Kelly, like Tasha Cobbs Leonard,
Karen Clark shit.
That was
yeah.
So I feel like if your name is already big professionally, then I would hyphenate, or I would do so that chick Angel I follow. Publicly in entertainment, she's still Angel Lakita Moore. Mm-hmm. On paper, she's Angel Tanksley. Mm-hmm. I would maybe do something like that. Go ahead and take his name on paper and then professionally remain. In my mind, I'm taking his name. There would be special circumstances to cause me to not.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That all makes sense to me. Like I said, just come down to conversation and communication.
Do you hyphenate the kids' names when you hyphenate?
You can. I know some people who have.
My niece is hyphenated.
Yeah, I know some people who have. I don't know the technical rules.
That's not because her mother's name is hyphenated. It's just so she would have both.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I know people with hyphenated last names.
I saw something on TikTok.
That's dangerous.
Doing that.
The dude was saying, he was like, I saw something somewhere. Pretty much you take the coolest parts of both of their last names and make a new last name.
I've seen that.
And he was like, I just saw somewhere. He was like, and I'm just wondering why we didn't do that. But yeah, take the coolest parts of both of the last names and just make a whole new last name. I don't think I would do that, but attach me to a family, either mine or yours.
You're creating a whole new line.
Right.
Like people.
Name come from.
Yeah. Talking about.
Now,
your mama?
Okay, so I guess I get where you're coming from then with hyphenating, because that is the case with some people's tracking down the back thing. Some people's it's the same last name, but it started getting spelled different, and it makes it harder to track down people.
My grandparent is like that. So her last name is supposed to be Richard without an S. Mm-hmm. But everybody somewhere down the line added an S, and so it both sides are like Richard or Richards. And I'm like, okay, it's supposed to be Richard with no S. But
I've heard of that happening to somebody else too.
I put it on a shirt. Richard, no S.
But But no, they truly believe. They're like, we ain't changing that. We ain't changing it back. We leaving.
Because, like, you can't... look, just the older I get now, I understand, like, the importance of your name. You don't really got a lot in this world, but your name is really one of the things you got. That's about all you got, really. So, being tied and connected with it, I understand. I'm not knocking nobody.
Yeah. And it's...
So...
I can see how it's one-sided, though, because dude get to keep his.
Mm-hmm.
You the one. So I can see how someone feels like their old person is getting erased. Because it's like, you just took my name, like, not took it.
Government came and took my baby. I'm sorry.
Like, it's like... Pretty much like you were saying, I'm becoming this whole new person. But then technically, the whole biblically, that is what's supposed to happen. You are supposed to, you know. But then people can still question. But he didn't change nothing. He didn't change nothing but his attachment. He still get to... I can understand arguments.
I don't feel like that. I do like that perspective where you said keep it hyphenated because the father may not have sons.
Yeah.
That would be my case. That's another reason. Yay, we got another reason. I can explain. No. Well, yeah. Got a small argument.
Lord.
Well, you know.
Bond a fool. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my thoughts on that.